The following review is brought to you by Things from Another World, your home for all comic books, from IDW to Marvel to DC, also Funko Pops, and more. Kawaii Box, where you can get charms, plush pillows sent to you each month. J-List, your home for all things from Japan, from candy, imported video games, and even 18 plus items. Play Asia, your imported video game store, and by the GreenTeaHouse, home of all natural herbal teas.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Have You Seen Any Good Movies Lately on SuperFancom. Welcome to the second episode of Have You Seen Any Good Movies Lately on SuperFancom. I'm your host, Retro Rick, and I'm joined by Handsome Bane.
So,
Everyday Rogue.
Hey, Sugas.
From It's Like a Podcast or whatever. And also, we haven't done anything since AB 2018 together.
Was that 18 or 19?
It was 19.
19.
Yeah, I was last year.
19.
Oh, wow.
Still feels like forever ago since
No
everything
more
has been
cons.
canceled.
Right, right.
And
Gather around, children, and we'll tell you a tale of when we used to go to cons.
we used to go outside.
Right.
And
True.
also joining us, someone I keep running into online, from Geek Juice to Gigaboots, and now someone pretty much on Twitch, Pass the Remote.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, alright.
So Pass the Remote, what do you do?
Well, I have a regular job and then I do Twitch on the side, so
Always good.
I sometimes, it's been a while since I've streamed a game, so mostly I do Twitch riffs and stuff like that, but you know.
Always fun.
Oh yeah, you know. Gotta keep myself busy now that the world's on fire.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, today we are reviewing another movie supplied to me by the good people over at Dark Coast and Tricament. The same people who last gave us that Gekimation movie, Violence Voyager, which was basically... And that thing was just lifeless. It's been, yeah, I mean, I personally did not enjoy it, as it was just... It's not anime or cartoons. It was basically like stop motion cardboard cutouts.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's tough.
You see, at least you know something like you're hoping you get something like a South Park, where yeah, they look like cardboard cutouts, but they're funny.
Or, you know, somebody tried to do something different, and it sucks when it just doesn't pay off.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
Yep. But this time we have Blood Hunters: Rise of the Hybrids.
They were called the Aswang, menacing, bloodthirsty beasts. But there were also those who were not afraid of the Aswang. We call them Blood Hunters. Blood will flow.
So tired. Everything hurts.
Well, that's good. That means you're not dead.
Blood Hunters. Rise of the Hybrids. From Tri-Coast Worldwide.
Starring
Blood Hunters.
Mai Ling Na, Mongol from the upcoming 2001 Suicide Squad movie,
Okay.
and Orana in Wonder Woman. Chang, Vince Sorberano, who plays the loose cannon Bolo, who's also the film's director and writer.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
That makes more sense now. That makes more sense. Okay.
And then that's when I'll come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, Blood Hunters follows the story of Gabriella on a trial of vengeance, teaming up with a group of monster hunters called the Slayers, hoping they can save the world from the Monster Queen. This movie is available now on Amazon, Vimeo, On Demand, FlixSlang, Vudu, and Fandango.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do people have to pay to access this movie?
I mean, yeah.
I'm sure now they are, because we got this movie as a pre-screener. It just took us a while to review it.
Yeah.
Get everything in line. All right. Rise of the Hybrids was described as an expanded version of a short film. So it's an expanded story from a short film that we never saw.
Okay.
Although I do think that, I think they kind of give you the notes version right at the beginning.
Yeah, they do.
It sounds like.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this was not based on any sort of comic thing at all.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
No, it's not. It's based off a short film. This guy and was awarded the best short film of 2016.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
from the Cinemax HBO Action Film Competition and an Action Showcase
Wow.
at Expo.
Wow. Can people access that?
I'm sure they can somewhere.
I'm sure they could. Yeah, I bet you it's probably somewhere. Probably on some site you can find it.
Okay.
2016 was the year of the underachiever, apparently.
Well, we don't know about the short film.
Yeah.
I
maybe
think we
that
know.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I think we know about the short film.
It would kind of help if they included it with the movie, just to give us a background for people who've never heard of this.
Yeah.
It just throws you right in.
Yeah, that'd do.
I don't mind
yeah.
getting off to the races.
But
Yeah.
all right, let's get to this proper. First off, Bane, what were your thoughts on this movie?
All right, man. I don't want to ruin any future relationships unless our friends are giving us these screeners are masochists, or they just want us to go ahead and go in on these movies. What you see is what you're going to get. All right. I think the worst thing about it is that it's pretty cliche. Like, you know everything that's going to happen as you watch, and that can still be fun. You know, I will say, don't go into this expecting. It feels like a sci-fi movie. To be honest, it feels like a sci-fi weekly movie, and those can be fun if you just lean into them. Probably, I'm sure that somewhere in here is a great drinking game, and like a great hate watch session for, like, you know, if you got some people over, you just have knock back a few drinks, and you're looking to have some fun. But you know, it is what it is. But the thing that I noticed immediately was, for this movie to be called Blood Hunters, there was not a lot of blood.
No.
Till like toward the end, where I guess the boy wanted to get some color.
Yeah.
You know, that's a wrestling term, kids. But, you know, you decide that, all right, now we're gonna do some blood, and you know, you can see the thick corn syrup on the blade. That just, you know, it was like, but yeah, I mean, it can still be no surprises here, man. Lots of questions though. I'm sure everybody's gonna have, but I'm not gonna beat it to death. So you guys go ahead.
All right, Rogue. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, so just quick initially, I was very underwhelmed. It felt more like a cult classic type thing. I could see people doing like a shadow version of it, sort of like Rocky Horror. Like at some points it was so bad it was almost laughable.
Oh yeah, we'll get into what was laughable in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, find some redeeming qualities about it that I can talk about later.
Yep. Pass the remote. What about you?
After watching this movie, it reminds me of another movie I watched a long time ago. Ninja Shadow of a Tear. And I feel like this movie's very similar. The story is very meh. But to be honest, I dug the action, how it was done. It definitely had someone behind the behind the camera who was competent at shooting action, and that really, for a low budget movie, that helps so much. In that, it's like, how many times have you watched an action movie where it's like, okay, this person behind the camera doesn't know what they're doing, and they're editing all so quick so you can't see anything. This actually felt like
they're trying to hide the fight, the actor's inability.
They're trying to hide the fight of the actors, but here, you've got people. I mean, Vera Chang, who did stunts, who's a stunt person, and Vincent, who has martial arts training, so that the choreography doesn't look like, oh wow, it's like, oh, all right. It's like if this had a different story, it's got like half of a really fun movie.
Yeah,
it just needs just that little something else, but
like good acting.
Yeah.
I will say, like, the action, the fighting reminded me something of it's in between Arrow and Daredevil, where like I like my fighting scenes. Like I didn't know, I know that I liked my fight scenes to be like Daredevil until I saw Daredevil, and I was like, I kind of like my fight scenes to feel like I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah, as long as they're not as awful.
Right. No, Daredevil, like, specifically, like, the hallway fight in Daredevil, I was just like, ooh, I need to sit down, because this is...
Yeah, that hallway fight gave me, like, old boy flashbacks, so I was like... Yeah.
Tough. Like, they were laying them in.
Oh, yeah,
and they were laying them in this one, like, when they're coming down that hallway, and Sarah Chang's just, like, making those kicks through the walls. Those kicks meant something. Like those looked really good, and she was putting guys through walls, and because we often talk, like, my friends and I have this thing where we hate the Rey Mysterio style that like Black Widow fights. Like everything is a Hurricane Rana. When she fights
Dragon Gate style.
Yeah, everything that she does is just like tilt-a-whirl. Yeah. I gotta grab it around, shoot, grab somebody with my leg, spin around, shoot. With her, it was like impact.
But that's the difference that you get between hiring, someone for acting and hiring someone for that. I mean, Scarlett Johansson she's not a fighter. I mean, and that's nothing bad, but when you start having all the acrobatic stuff, it's like, this actually, like, you could feel I felt like the fights, the impact actually had, weight to it. Yeah. Reminded me of like, it was something like Jackie Chan always would do, where it didn't do the same thing, but where Jackie Chan, where he would, when he did his movies, he'd do a hit, and then the next shot would be a few frames back, and you would see the hit again. But with a few frames, just kind of, the few frames would be deleted in your mind, so it just seemed like a really powerful hit. And I felt like this movie knew, okay, we got action down. Gotta get the action down. And I'll take that over a very well acted but poor choreographed action movie any day of the week.
Like a Batman Begins, where it's just what is happening right now?
Yeah, where Batman Begins, where Nolan just didn't know how to shoot the action.
He's just like, just shake the camera and have him throw some elbows. I don't know, the hell out of there.
All right. Favorite character, Rogue. Who was your favorite character in this movie?
I think by far, probably because it was also the best acting, I really liked Gundra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, was that not what you were expecting?
Yeah, no problem.
Just whenever he came on the screen, like I was convinced that he was a bad guy, and
I've been calling Boogeyman the whole time.
Yeah,
like the Boogeyman from WWE a while back. Yeah, okay, that's what I was calling him.
The guy with the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he actually.
With the Michael Jackson from Thriller eyes.
Yeah, my favorite too.
Your favorite too?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, you're not crazy.
We're like the same person.
Pretty good.
All right, you got to answer that question for yours and Pat and Remote. Who was your favorite character?
that was kind of difficult because for a lot of times I had a little trouble figuring out who's who.
Yeah, that happens.
But let's see. I'm trying to remember. Was Gundra the one that had like the little tattoo stuff, or was he the one that actually had the makeup on his face?
The one that had makeup on the face.
It wasn't Naga. It wasn't the I'm evil. Like not that guy.
God, was he shaved head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think because I couldn't remember what his name was. I just called him Moss.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Naga.
Like the
You're talking about Naga with the teeth that irritated me.
Oh, that he couldn't talk through.
I was like, "What are you?"
Yeah.
I'll get into him.
Well, no, and then there's one shot where I think the makeup was coming off, so you could see the light through it. I was like, "Dude, no, the veins just popped right off of his skin."
Yeah, no, not him.
Yeah.
So you're another vote for Gundra?
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for
Gundra was chewing scenery in this movie.
He stole it.
He really did.
That's hilarious.
I liked him, but I also like Kylie, the girl who at the end kind of was cosplaying as Laura Croft, the girl with the knives.
Oh yeah, man, she was a smoke show.
Yeah.
With the short hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is she also the girl from Working Moms? I couldn't look this up, so I couldn't figure out who the actress was. But she was just,
her name is Roxanne Barcelio. Let me actually look that up.
Total smoke show, bro.
She reminded me of the girl from Working Moms, and that's all I could think of when I saw her. But yeah, she was really cute.
And while you guys, just that first scene with her and Max, nice kill, King. It was like, what is happening? It's just like, it felt like a Venture Brothers scene. Like, like the first thing that I noticed too, when we're talking about like how this started, and they gave us the whole rundown, and they're just like the Blood Hunters and then the Slayers.
Yeah.
And I guess like they're two completely different things.
It seems.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, she's walking around with this string thing, this bow and arrow on a stick, minimalist bow and arrow, and she doesn't go over on on Naga here in the beginning, and it's just like, and then we saw them take like another L almost immediately, and it was just like, guys, I'm not getting a lot out of the Blood Hunters here. You would think like you start, any other movie you set it up, Blade, you wouldn't start Blade off with Blade taking an L.
No.
He'd come in, show how much of a badass he is, wipe out a room of 10 bloody vampires, and then you move on. It's like, okay, we've established him as a badass, but like for them, it was just, hey, nice kill, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of weird because, normally you build up your good guys, you got to build up your guys, and then you go them together. And sometimes the first time they go together, the good guys might take an L, but they're going to win in the end. It felt very odd.
It had me offbeat for a while where I was just like, wait, what? And then 12 minutes into the movie, we learned Gabriella Chang's name, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
She is somebody we're supposed to know. Thanks.
Yeah, the girl from Working Moms, but same like short hair, cute sort of attitude. So
I see it.
Anyway.
Yeah, and whoever, I want to know who's doing hair at the Slayers compound, because whipped. Her stuff was together.
Yeah. All right, Lee keep going.
I just want to know who actually owned the house that they were filming all that stuff in. Was that the director's house?
It had to be.
Is that like his house in the woods?
Maybe.
Least favorite character, Remote. Who was your least?
Oh, we're probably all going the same way.
I actually am gonna go with the main bad guy Naga, just because I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
I just like, dude,
it's unanimous.
At this point, I guess it was so low budget they couldn't afford ADR for him. Like, come on,
Every
dude.
his mouth, I could not stop laughing.
It was just because he was wearing Halloween teeth. It's like when you were a child and you wear those wax teeth.
I know what it is. You know what it was? I bet you they didn't fit well. So he probably couldn't talk normally because they'd pop right out. Normally what you do is you put a little hot wax, put them on your teeth, let that set, and they'll stay. and then you can do better, or just have him come back. Stuff. I mean, you have CGI, you have post-production.
Even if the voice and the teeth was fine, he was not intimidating about the way he looked or the way he acted and convinced me he was the main bad guy.
For a while I was thinking at the end of the film.
Right.
He got washed. I've never seen.
At least the other guy was like, this dude felt like, the mini boss was like, oh god, he's the mini boss that's a tougher challenge than the final boss.
Yeah, he was Sagat. He was Sagat in Street Fighter 2. His movement, like that little shadow, like the shadow movement stuff that he was doing was really cool. Like just the stuff that made it look, made him look like really intimidating to the point where I was like, oh, okay, Naga must have something up his sleeve. And he just got washed. Like, it wasn't a close fight. She beat him up for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just like, she remembered something somebody told her, like, oh, yes, to fight high and fight low, and then you keep them off balance, close. This is just work plan to perfection. Like, it was like a box match. Just
all the kids crying as she was fighting him. Stop! He's already dead.
And the worst character is Naga.
Yeah.
Much.
I mean,
how hard is that the main bad guy is the worst?
And that's if you have a weak bad guy or a bad guy or however you want to look at it, that puts you at a real disadvantage, man.
It does, unless you've got like something like a Samurai Cop where you've got, your heavy is Robert Sadar, who's basically going to take the entire movie on the chin and carry it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to favorite scene. Mo, what was your favorite scene?
Well, actually, mine is once they actually get there, they start fighting, because then it's like, we're not acting anymore. You're actually going to start getting into the action scenes, and that's when, you can tell this actor really knew his craft at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, it was basically like, action, get to the action. Okay, yeah, this guy knows what he's doing now. And I thought, I was like dude's fight with Mini Boss.
Bolo versus Boogeyman, I have it
yeah.
here too.
Oh, yeah. Where that was really good. Like they're using the techniques, and it's like, no, this feels like, but the impact is just like, this is okay. And it's like, oh, the director's fighting in that scene. Okay.
Hey,
but
he took his ass to school on the mat.
Yeah.
Like, took his ass. I was like, who knew his weakness was jujitsu?
but it was a fight where it's like both sides get everything in. It's like it didn't feel like the director's just like, I am Superman.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he knew how to. That fight was well made and just felt like, okay, this dude knows. If you just showed that fight scene, you'd be like, dude, I want to see more fight scenes that this guy made.
Maybe that was the entire short film.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
Apparently, I looked it up. Apparently, like the short film was made for like $12,000.
Wow.
So this might be, I don't know. It didn't look like it cost a whole lot of money for this movie to get made.
Yeah. Rogue, what was your favorite scene?
Yeah, so I think the martial artistry in general was a real strength of the movie. However, I'm going to just talk about two scenes that were cliche cute. So one, the scene where Gabriella meets Bolo, and then she ends up with the knife to his junk in the end. Still kind of cute. I liked that. And then also, you're laughing at me. Don't laugh at me. Well, because he's like,
he got a knife at his junk.
No, because he's like, oh, I beat you, or whatever he said, and she's like, you sure about that? So I don't know. I just liked that. And then so I guess more of the cute scene was I forget her name already. The girl we were just talking about with the short hair, her boyfriend
Callie and Matt.
Callie. Yeah, right before they're both about to fight, she says, wait! And then she gives him a little kiss, but she has to, jump because she's so short. So it was cute. Also cliche because it was, just sealing the kiss of death that one of them was going to die. But I am glad that she is the one that survived. I thought it was going to go the other way. So, I kind of liked to power moments, I guess.
She got chopped too, okay.
I know, but not in that moment.
Not in that moment, yeah. She was like a step away where she could have like saved him, but she just like stopped and screamed for a minute. It was like, well, wait, who was this guy that killed him? Because he's a nobody. Like, it was like, it was like the refugee looking guys, or the lower level, bandana guys with the black. They were like 50 points.
See,
it was like the hoodie shroud guys.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they were like the next level.
You know who it should have been? It should have been Boogeyman who killed.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, you're building up. But yeah, the training scene, bringing up that, they both basically, it was a draw, kind of reminds me of David Lynch's Dune, where they're fighting, where Patrick Stewart's fighting Kyle MacLachlan with the shield. Yeah. And he's like, the slow blade penetrates, but, hey, look down. Okay, would have been a... Right. I mean, it's a very good, it's a good scene to kind of show combat prowess of both characters.
Right, exactly.
Ben, what was your favorite scene?
Well, of course, it was all the martial arts stuff. But I also do the Bolo's wife, where, was this Naga? Was that Naga who killed her?
Yeah.
Naga comes in and kills her. But
wait,
no.
It was Andra.
It was Boogeyman, yeah. I'm only calling him Boogeyman. It was
because not Bella's husband,
Yeah, okay. I was trying to remember which one. But I just like that she didn't just scream and die. Like, she, threw her hands a little bit. And it was just like, it wasn't anything to tell us that she, was a martial artist at all. But I just remember that part where she was like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But still took the L. But I did enjoy that. Yeah. But still the fight at the end, just breaking out the BJJ was just hilarious to me. It reminded me of Sergeant Slaughter beating the hell out of Nemesis and Forrester with wrestling.
Yeah. Other than the fight scenes, I like the opening comic book style, video game opening that kind of led us into the story. It kind of had a better game feel. Because I'm a sucker for those types of stylish intros.
They use those to sort of cut in between throughout too.
And then that's what got on my nerves.
I
was like, okay.
It made me really curious if it was based on a comic, because I was like, maybe I should read the comic.
Yeah. I thought they were like, let's just take something out of the book from Sin City there and just...
I could definitely see it being a comic book. It has that sort of feel.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
You know what it reminded me of? 30 Days of Night.
Yes, very much.
Only not as good.
Yeah.
But it definitely had that feel. So if you guys are going to watch or read or look at anything, 30 Days of Night maybe would be...
Yeah. Least favorite scene, Bane.
Ooh. Where was I? I have it down here. Oh, I don't even, and I won't say this was it's not that it's just that it was bad. It just didn't seem to fit. Where who was the general guy in the who's wearing the SWAT team's flag vest?
Oh,
the guy who was really handling business.
Yeah, I think his name was Monte or something.
Yeah,
that guy. He's underrated. He's he's like sixth man in this one. Not quite MVP, but they definitely needed him. He was clutch. The part where he's passing out guns to everybody, and it's like a 2-minute thing, but he's like, ready to rock and roll, boys. I
think it was
and rub them together like they're getting ready to have a barbecue or play a charity basketball game or something. It's like, you're having out weapons to go in here and tell these vaguely, demonic creatures. Just you ready to rock and roll, boys? He almost sounded like a Midwestern basketball coach when he said that. He was very upbeat.
Also, this movie was quick. It did not... I mean, that may have felt like padding just to make this runtime just a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't feel like anything. And it was he passed out a couple guns. Then Max and Callie came and got their guns, and they were like, "Hey, all right, here, Max. Here's this gigantic bazooka handgun here."
Yeah.
And Callie, of course, a nice little sexy Glock there for you.
But then the guns don't even work on them.
Oh,
Why not make the guns out of the bullets, the same stuff they make the swords out of?
Yeah.
Let's go shooting things. And I put here, why don't where is it? Why don't the guns work? Is this just the plot to force kick-ass hand-to-hand combat?
Probably.
It was just like, that won't work in here.
yeah. I mean, at that point, why not just have the metal be used like arrow tips and just give them bows and arrows?
Right?
Yeah.
Remote, your least favorite.
Any scene where Naga talked.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, it's one thing if you're you've got like a villain kind of like Bane where he talks like this, and some people may not be able to understand him. But when this dude literally is talking like, I got to be very careful, or else the fact is these things will pop out, and we probably can't afford like a take. It's like I can't take your villain seriously. And while doing that, it just I kept feeling like this guy's not the villain. He-Man's the villain. He's the guy, the big bad guy. This other guy's just like hiding. Like it's just like it. Yeah, it really hurt when your main villain is just like I can't even understand what the hell.
He's a star.
Yeah, it's like I just feel like if you flip them around, this movie would go up at least a point. If you just flip them around.
Like
And
have
he's Boogeyman be the bad guy.
Yeah, like he's the lackey, and then the boogeyman is the boss.
Yeah.
Sense that Bolo is the director. Like he's the one that got to fight Boogeyman.
Yeah.
He had that storyline. So that
True.
now that makes sense. That would be what was paid more attention to.
Right.
I mean, I will definitely give it that. Yeah, how they did like okay, so she's fighting Naga, he's fighting Boogeyman. It makes sense. From a story. They're both getting revenge on the one who killed the family member. I get that. It feels like Boogeyman is just more of a finest than Naga, and that.
Absolutely.
Rogue, your least favorite scene.
Oh, it's hard to pick just one scene.
Fair.
Yeah, the acting was really just a low point, and I was willing to think. So you know how sometimes comics don't translate to movies. So if you're following a comic too closely, some lines that seem really dramatic and poignant while you're reading a comic don't quite translate well to screen.
Yeah.
But since this isn't even based off a comic, the line delivery just awful. Just it felt too forced. And there were so many choppy scene cuts that it made the story really hard to follow. I'm with Pass the Remote that anything with Naga was just awful too.
Uncomfortable, really. Like.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but so the big fight when they're all rushing in, they're literally taking their blades and slicing up these characters. There is no blood. There is no any effect happening at all. They're just going like cha 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 and like moving on.
No, I literally have down here no blood code.
Yeah.
No blood for that last scene.
They couldn't afford CGI blood for those storming the castle. And I am convinced that's the same house that they were training in, that they just redressed the set.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure director just had a house in the woods, and he's like, let's just film it here to save money, because he probably didn't have much money to be honest. I mean, what is this movie's 71 minutes total? It's like, this is short. But I will say that does work to its credit.
Let's hit the Party City dumpster. All they can get.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on the last scene.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene, just because of that that effect that guy had. It just was it was hurting.
Oh, it was so irritating. But a favorite line from the movie: "Your plans to wipe out the Slayers has failed. There are literally 3 Slayers left."
Yeah.
You guys could just, scrounge up some more followers, go bite somebody or something, nipple guys, and go handle that. I mean, granted, the cream of the crop is left, but they're tired.
Yeah?
They've had a long day. Go over there and wipe them out.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure evil Danny Trejo will be able to take them out.
He definitely was giving off a Trejo vibe. Alright, time to rate this movie on a scale of +5 to -5. Rogue, what do you...
Oh, into the negative. Oh.
Yep, +5 to -5. What do you rate it?
Can I just give it a 0?
Yes.
Can I give it a balanced 0?
Wow.
You can.
Wow, what a pH balanced score.
Yeah, I feel like there are some redeeming qualities. The martial artistry is really cool. It has a comic booky feel. Acting is so hard to stomach. So that is really hard. So I would, again, recommend many other things such as 30 Days of Night if you're into this sort of thing. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a 0.
Okay. Pass the remote. What about you?
Ooh. Because a 0 actually does kind of feel right, being the fact that the acting scenes are not that good, but man, the martial arts in an action movie are top notch, and that really helps, make this, kind of interesting. But I will probably, I am probably going to say though, I will give it, because I felt that I could see what they were going to try to say budget. And the fact that, once the action started, you could really tell, okay, this director knows what he's doing. I'm going to give it a ½ star.
Okay.
It's just barely above middle of the road. I probably wouldn't recommend purchasing it, but, if you like action, I would take a look at this and hope that the next movie this guy makes has a little more budget and maybe get some better actors.
Fair. How about you? What do you rate it?
All right, I'm going to take into account everything that we've said, all the negatives, the bad acting, the scenery, being possibly recycled, just everything that we've been talking about. The Naga's teeth. Let's take all of that into consideration, and now let's take it and put it in front of 5 or 6 you and best friends, just watching just something and drinking. For me, film is about experience, the way it's the way it made you feel, the way that it makes you, that you experience it with other people. Because this is definitely nothing to watch by yourself.
True.
I would definitely agree. This is
something you throw on with some friends, you laugh, you have a good time. I would say to buy it. Yeah. I say you do buy it because it's probably going to be the cheapest drinking game that you'll ever be able to buy at a Target or something. I am going to give this 1.5 stars just because I know the fun that that you would have watching this with your friends. I'm talking stomach would be hurting, laughing and pointing out everything that's wrong with this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also a lot of diversity in the casting, which we didn't mention before, and that is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Well, I believe, from what I can gather, I think this was shot in the Philippines because the out the guns is a former Filipino congressman.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And the babes are smoking. Sarah Chang is really she's not like a conventional, beauty queen chick that you have a beauty actor that's like a face. She's kind of a big girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's when she kicks, it looks like it hurts. It's almost like a Brienne of Tarth kind of thing. So it's refreshing to have that strong body. I mean, that's kind of my thing anyway. So I'm weird, but they'll take anything from me.
Well, but
She-Hulk the first time as an 8-year-old, and that's kind of been my chick. So seeing a big strong girl going around putting her fist through people is kind of dope. So.
Well, and that's, as I said, that's the benefits of getting somebody who primarily does stunts as your main character, is that they're going to be able to carry the fight scenes, and they're going to look awesome, which they did.
Yeah.
So
for me, I also like the music and the ambient sounds in this movie. However, the awful Naga stuff, a couple of times for a night shot You really couldn't see what was happening. I mean, it was an interesting flick. Would I watch the next one if they make it because of that horrible teaser at the end? That to be continued.
Oh, yes.
Another?
Yeah, if they make another, well, I mean, if they make another, you're gonna have Monster Danny Trejo, and I gotta see where this goes.
I have to see it. Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 2.
Okay.
Which,
I feel like Price is right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know, this, yeah, well, I mean, this didn't have anywhere near the overwhelming negative things for this to be, in my opinion, like a negative score. This was,
yeah.
Right.
You could see what they were trying to do. Is just like you didn't have it to do it. I felt like if they could have done it, they would have done it.
Yeah, you know, hire this director to do your stunt choreography in a big budget action movie.
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this dude can do it. Get a big budget action movie to do fight choreography. It'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we are looking at a total score from everyone here of 4, which is not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, Rogue, would you give this a movie a pass, rent, or buy for like just someone that you're talking to about this movie?
Yeah, you know, I think I'm going to go with Handsome Bane on this. You know, if you have nothing else to do with your friends and you're into, you know, some comic-y, sci-fi feel, go ahead and have a laugh. There is a twist at the end. So they did throw a twist in. So you might be surprised. So yeah, I'd say rent, but not alone, and not for serious film critique.
Yeah, enter pass.
If I could guarantee, like, if I knew, I would buy it just to have it on stash. Look, I own Wrong Side of Town, starring a young Dave Bautista and Rob Van Dam and Ja Rule. Mwah. All right. And that film has brought me and my friends so much joy. So for me, just because I'm a weirdo, I would own, if I could own something like this, I would like to have it at my beck and call in the event that we're all having a couple of drinks, everybody's feeling good, and I say, hey, you guys got to see this shitty movie. It's great. You're gonna love it. It's so bad, it's good. It is one of those so bad, it's good. You know, there are like a lot of movies that it doesn't take itself that seriously, which kind of helps it, but they tried and they failed. So it's just like, I'll own it, but for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
But it's a purchase. It's a purchase.
Pal, what say you?
I would go with a buy as long as you're, you know, under $5. I probably I wouldn't pay like $20 for this movie.
I wouldn't pay 14.
No, I like, one, it's way too short. You know, you're 71 minutes, and that's with credits. So it's a short movie. So I probably wouldn't pay more than $5. But if you can get it for $5, yeah, I would do that. It can be, you know, yeah, I would go ahead and buy it. You know, it's a nice, you know, it's a really good, you know, laugh at the movie with your friends, have a good time, and just kind of, you know, look at this movie that is not trying to do something and appreciate what it does well and laugh at what it does not do well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so I would.
Hey, this was live nude geeks material.
It could be. It would have to. It's since it's only an hour, you got to add something else to it. Yeah. But you know, it definitely can be. It can definitely be done.
Yeah, I mean, anything is riffable.
Oh, yeah. Well, most everything is riffable.
Yes.
Well, if you get that short film, you do yourself a little double feature. Good to go.
Yeah, do a double feature, like some, like at that point, do like some, you know, like Hong Kong flick or something like that.
Yeah, like
that's real short,
like Ninja City or something like that.
Yeah, that would work really well.
Or that Ninja Shadow movie you mentioned.
Ninja Shadow of a Tear, that could work. How long that is, but that is yeah, because it's that one. Is Scott Adkins is the main character. So we got a white guy as a ninja.
Nice.
Made in 2013, 95 minutes. Yeah, no, that could work.
Yeah. I'd also give this a rent. It's not boring. It will hold your interest if you're in kung fu and like
If
martial
you can
arts.
get past the acting.
Yeah, if you get past the acting, yeah.
The acting is fine. Everything isn't supposed to get an Oscar.
Yeah.
As long as it entertains you and it gives you something to love about it, and, you know.
Okay.
It doesn't get to the point of like Troll 2 bad or anything like that. I mean, it's just the greatest, but it's perfectly cromulent.
Exactly. Okay, that will wrap it up for us. Rogue and Bane, where can people find you?
You go ahead, Kay.
You can find me _Rogue on Instagram. And Handsome Bane, you want to take us through the ILAPOW stuff?
ILAPOW is ILA_POW on both Instagram and Twitter. It's like a podcast or whatever on Facebook. Follow us there. We've got some pretty interesting stuff. Twitter, I'm just getting these jokes off and these prime retweets. Instagram, I'm actually doing work for the show. So, and then of course, it's like a podcast or whatever on everywhere that a podcast. We just did, what was the last one? Oh, yeah, we just did our Dungeons and Dragons game. It was the first one.
Awesome.
This was, did you listen to it, Kay?
I did. I listened to it.
Oh, okay, listen to this show.
Oh.
That's one listen. No, but it took a lot to produce that one because I had to get all the ums and spaces and stuff out of there and put the music behind it and get some good stuff going. And I'll be, actually tomorrow, I'll be on, we should do this again sometime with Kat Janetti and the Mark Robb is there. Movie podcast. We're talking Spike Lee. So yeah, we're all over the place.
And Pass the Remote, where can people find you at?
You can find me, well, first and foremost, you can find me at Twitter. It'll be Pass the Remote at Pass the Remote SA. You can find me on Twitch /Pass the Remote _SA. And you also can find me sometimes on Yeezus Media. And that's about it.
And we now will turn our attention to the Wheel of Movies, which will be our next movie to review.
All right.
On the wheel,
Come on, wrong side of town.
Yep. We have the movie Fletch, Operation Dumbo Drop, Air Bud, Joysticks, Little Rita, 2 episodes of the show Darkwing Duck of Justice Ducks,
Nice.
2 episodes of the TV show The Loop, and 1 episode of the Anime Gamers. So let's spin this wheel.
Oh, you know what? I'm kind of hoping you guys can land on Little Rita.
We did. Next up is Little Rita.
Oh, man. I wish I wasn't a guest. I want to come back to that. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Well, but thank you all for joining me. I'd like to thank Pass the Remote and Everyday Rogue and Bane of It's Like a Podcast, whatever.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Thanks so
And
much.
thank you for enduring this movie.
Enjoying this movie.
All right.
All right.
And